Hello, I'm Debbie Solon from Fusion Glass Company, and I am here today to show you how to do a very simple wire wrap on a rectangular object. I started to do this very simple wrap when I first created this line of pendants that are made using local leaves and firing the leaf into the glass and coming up with these really pretty kind of fossil-like images on the glass. And I didn't like the option that I had for a bail so that you could use it as a pendant and hang it. This is what we had as an option, and I love this for other pendants that we do, but not for this one. I wanted something more organic feeling. So I started using some copper wire to create the look that I just showed you. Let me show you some of the tools that I use when I'm doing this. Wire cutters, round nose pliers. This one is a crimp pliers, and if you can see at the very front there, there's a kind of circle shape in the very front of the pliers, and that's the part that I use for this project. And then there's the flat nose and the Dalney Special, which is a very thin dowel, but unlike the round nose, it's not tapered. So I'll show you what I'm going to be using that for. So my daughter put this champagne cork and covered it with duct tape so that it doesn't hurt my hand when I use it. So the process is very simple. We're going to use this special tool and an 18 gauge copper wire, and I'm just going to overlap by about an inch and then wrap the wire around. I like to do it 3 times, and then I kind of overlap it a little bit like this. Now I'm going to take my flat nose pliers and create a 45-degree angle on the long wire. So it will look like this. Now I'm going to wrap this short wire around the long wire, and that will create the actual loop where your chain will come through later on, like that. And there's 3 to give it a bit of substance instead of just having 1 wire. So now I'm going to cut that wire off and use my crimp tool to tuck the little tail of the wire in so it's not catching on anything. Now, here's the piece I'm going to wrap. And I'm just going to literally use my fingers to hold this wire with the bail a little bit above the back of the pendant. Now I'm going to pull the wire from the back to the front of the pendant, and now I'm going to push it back, looping it around the corners, and again forward and now back. And when I'm coming back this time, I'm actually going to wrap it around the loop that I had previously created. And I usually wrap it around another time as well, just to give it a nice tight finish. Now I'm going to come back in and use my wire cutters to cut that out. And again, I'm going to just tuck in the tail like that. So this is what we have so far. Now it's not very tight. It's actually pretty tight, but we can get it tighter than this. So now I'm going to use this crimp tool again And I'm just going to tweak the back by going like this. And that's tightened it up. And now I'm going to go on the bottom one. And now we'll turn around and do it again on the top, on the front side. And the last thing I'm going to do is just go through that hole again and make sure it's nice and straight. So, there you go. Ta-da! You know where to go if you want to buy more of those. Fusion Glass Company. Thanks for watching. Hope that was helpful. Leave a comment below if it was.